Hello, everybody. I'm Frank Candido. I handle investor relations and corporate communications for NuRAN Wireless Inc. Today is Monday, August 19th, and I've got Francis Letourneau, President and CEO of NuRAN Wireless with me today. Hey, Francis, how are you?
I'm really good. Good afternoon, Frank.
So, Francis, I've been with the company since 2015, 2016. I mean, it's almost unbelievable. We're talking about 8 years now. In fact, since the company was actually a private company that went public, and through that time, there's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows, but we really think that we're finally steering the ship in the right direction. And a lot of the issues have always been around the same element, which is how do we finance these site builds? And there's been different methods that have been tried in the past that didn't work out. But when you develop this network as a service, we really think we're on to something, and it's finally starting to bear fruit, we believe. So today you made a very important announcement. In fact, the shareholder I've known since day one, and I've visited with him and met with him, and was very happy to see that continues to be committed to not only the company, but the company's mission. So maybe you want to just touch a little bit on that. That's $1.6 million into NuRAN Wireless Quebec City corporate.
US.
Which is at US, yes. So maybe you just want to touch a little bit upon that and maybe talk a little bit about the shareholder. I know that he did not want his name to be disclosed.
Yeah, that's normal. So yeah, he's been with the company for since the beginning, since NuRAN turned public, and even before that. And he's been extremely supportive. Never sold a single share. He wanted to be part of the game, and I think he saw when we met during MWC in last February, he saw that there was a tremendous potential with the site economics that we presented to him, and he felt in love with what he saw, and he said, okay, I'm back in. And this is when we started discussing various investment opportunity, and this is when Signum came in, that this particular investment took shape. Signum has requested to see a little bit more financial support from the parent company, and this was the perfect opportunity for somebody like this shareholder to jump in and to support the company the right way. That way, we're going to avoid drawing down from the current factoring facility that is extremely costly as well. And that was one of the objectives, to see more support at the parent level for the African operation. This is what Signum wanted to see in terms of requests, but also a covenant in the mix. When we draw down, we need to demonstrate debt to equity ratio, and this is going to allow us to be fully compliant for the duration of the loan.
Okay, so you touched on two important things, and I know for a fact because many shareholders contact me. I don't necessarily always answer, and if I don't answer, it's simply because I can't divulge information that's not in the public domain. So it's not because I'm avoiding necessarily answering the question. But let's touch on those two things quickly. You wanted to reduce or eliminate factoring. This factoring has been a bone of contention for a lot of shareholders because, as you know, our share count has started to increase because we've needed access to those funds. So explain to everyone how this will help us to not only reduce, but hopefully eliminate the need for factoring going forward.
So first and foremost, this cash comes as working capital to allow us to support the company. So it will allow management to stop drawing down from this factoring line. So this is not going to increase anymore, and will start to be repaid as soon as we hit this EBITDA positive status that we've been talking about for quite a long time, which is likely to occur in the first quarter of 2025. Right. And this is how it's going to play. So we stop pulling out money from this factoring line. And second is to put all money at work to make sure that we're reaching this EBITDA positive status in order to get going.
Okay, and then you mentioned something also important because, we did previously announce an important financing from Signum to help us
Yeah.
build more sites, which is the other thing that we've received many complaints from shareholders on, that we're not building sites fast enough. We've missed objectives, we've missed targets, et cetera, which they're all right about. But the fact of the matter is that now we're in a pretty good position where we've got money in corporate and we've got money at the African level to deploy more sites. So my understanding is that Signum, the discussions are ongoing with Signum to bring even more money in to deploy more sites. Is that correct? And how is this helping us to achieve that goal?
So, yeah, you touched 2 points here. So Signum has already expressed its willingness to roll over the current 5 million into a larger facility for a 7-year term facility, like the term sheet that we've received for 15 million. So Signum have expressed interest already to roll over into this larger facility. And they've already said that they would probably increase the amount if need be. So that's the first thing. Then this money, we signed the agreement during the spring, and we got the money on the 12th of July. We said that we're going to resume the build starting the 12th of July. So this does not mean that we have a site on the 13th, Frank. So when we started there, we issued a PO to the service provider. We complete all the build permits and all the sequence that has to occur, and we are starting the build. So trucks are not only on the road; they've reached their objective, their targets, and we are building as we speak, Frank. So our objective is to complete the 122 site ASAP in Cameroon under contract, the first batch with Orange. And to start the second batch, which we talked about, it's a batch of 60. POs have been sent. Prepayment has been paid with this money, of course. And as soon as the product are manufactured and ready, we will then be paying the balance in order to receive it. So we're expecting to see delivery of this material starting September. So the gap between the 122 and continue to build will not be huge. Maybe a couple of weeks, and that's it. So we will maintain a good pace in Cameroon. Cameroon has been extremely good in terms of site performance. We have surpassed $1,800 per site per month now. So we're really on a good track record for Cameroon, and we want to maintain that. The money is going to be mainly focused for Cameroon, even if we will be building in DRC. The current shareholder investment that we talked about today also allow us to kick off Benin and kick off Ivory Coast and to complete a couple of builds in South Sudan. So those are ongoing as well. We'll report back in future videos like this, how many sites, when they are going to be built, and so on and so forth. So this is all upcoming because this is one of the multiple videos we will do over the course of 2024 to inform our shareholders of our progression.
Okay, so when do you think we can expect to tell the shareholders the first update on site builds, which everyone is anxious to hear about? When do we expect to come back to shareholders with an update on that?
Yeah, as soon as we have everything lined up properly, we will come back in September. I don't know the dates for now. We'll come back in September with new targets and also status of where we stand with the number of site lives and how we will progress over time for 2024 and early 2025. Now we have money to produce 600 sites cumulative, and this is our target to reach EBITDA positive. As we are working on the sideline to bring some additional debt and equity, the goal here is to reach this EBITDA positive status. So we now have the cash to do it. Cash is in the bank. It's being used in the right way to make it happen, and everything has already started and on the verge of getting those sites live and generating way more revenue for NuRAN. And I'm not leaking any information, but Q2 looked good. So we're releasing Q2 in in 10 days, Frank, I think people will be extremely happy with the turnaround that we've injected to that company in the last couple of months.
Okay, so you've said a lot there. So just to recap quickly,
Yeah.
you're suggesting that we are fully in site build mode as we speak. We will have an update to our shareholders, not only on the sites that have been built, but the targets on the sites that we are planning to build within this year and early next year.
Yeah.
And we expect to have something for our shareholders in September. And you're also suggesting that we've got cash to get to 600 sites, live sites currently. And discussions are ongoing with Signum to increase the amount of cash from them. I think we've only drawn down 2.5 of the 5 million, if I'm correct. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So we still have more money to draw down from Signum, but discussions are ongoing with them to increase that 5 million. And my understanding is that discussions are ongoing also with this not new shareholder, but with this long-term shareholder about possibly participating in a more fulsome way as well going forward. Is that true?
It's the entry point for them to come in at a more a larger amount moving forward. They want to see result, and this is like a foot in the door for them to just do more, and potentially at the African level. This is what we are talking about now. They could be the equity player coming alongside with the $15 million investment from the term sheet that we've announced. I think it was in May or June. This group has completed operational and environmental due diligence. They are completing their legal due diligence, and we will be reporting soon on where they stand with their investment, with this investment opportunity.
Okay, so let's just touch on two more things quickly because we don't want these videos to be too long. Dilution. Right. So
Yes.
if you look at this, there's a 25% discount in terms of the deal on the convertible debenture. Maybe you want to touch base a little bit and explain to our shareholders why you think that ultimately we're going to have less dilution than more dilution because of this.
Good point. So first of all, one of the objective with this money, alongside with the cash generated by operation, is to start to get rid of some of the short-term debt. The 2.53 million that has been announced, we restructure a debt during the spring timeframe. And from that debt, we repaid right away 450K USD, which represent 2.7 million potential shares that has been canceled. And we are starting a payment plan of $150,000 US per month starting October in order to reduce completely this one. This will have the effect to reduce the dilution by 15 million shares. So 1-to-1, this investment today is replacing the others. But the other thing that is also important to mention is this blocking mechanism that we've been requested to put in the convertible debenture to not be into an insider position. So the shareholder or the convertible debenture holder doesn't have the right to convert to reach larger than 9.9% ownership of the company. So in other words, it's not planned to be completely converted into shares. So that will reduce the dilution. So I don't know if I'm making myself clear on this one. I doubt that this is going to be completely converted. Not only that I doubt, but there's a clause in there that prevent that. So our goal is to repay that loan moving forward.
Okay, and then you mentioned Q1 numbers or Q2, sorry, numbers that you're anxious about. So you've kind of seemed a bit excited. Obviously, things have been improving on that front, and the missing ingredient has always been we just need to build more sites, and we're heading in that direction. So let's see what that gives when that comes out. I'm sure we'll have a video then when
Yes.
we release those numbers. But the last thing, Francis, that I want to touch base on quickly, because I get asked this all the time, EIB. And I know that this is a recorded video, and and sometimes when we're dealing with third parties, we need to be sensitive in terms of what we say. But is EIB still alive? Is it dead? Should we forget about it? Like, what can you say without jeopardizing any discussions that you may be having with them?
If we want to resume the EIB loan package, we need to reapply for it. So it's not a no. We just need to go and reapply. And with the current site metrics that we have, it could work. But do we want to go there while we have those other facility coming in that are way better adapted to our situation, that have better terms, that have more flexibility? I think that we will stick with the current $15 million plus Signum, plus others to come, because the 15 million, the group there also are creating a syndicated facility to grow it to $70 million. Maybe the EIB or even FinFund of that world might jump into that loan package instead of redoing the work all at once. So it's either we go back, reapply, we bring them back into this 70 million potential facility, or we just say bye-bye. So at this stage, all options are on the table. We have just not decided yet what we want to do. But we've been told by FinFund that they are willing to consider.
Okay, well, listen, the shareholders will speak, and obviously the company is, wants to promote what we believe still to be this fantastic opportunity up ahead of us. But, we've had a couple of good news in a row here with, getting that Signum money in, now getting this long-term committed shareholder in, allowing the company both in Canada and in Africa to be capitalized to move forward, and with many irons in the fire in terms of increasing those amounts, especially in Africa, which is where we need the bulk of the money anyway. How do you want to leave it with the shareholders? I mean, Q2 is probably the next thing up on the list, and you sound pretty excited about it. So, what parting words do you want to let our shareholders know?
What all shareholder has been expecting for so long is happening today. We have money, we're building sites, we'll generate revenue, and we'll bring more financing facility at the African level to avoid this dilution process. So we're on the verge of really creating the company that everybody has been expecting for so long. Bear with us on that one.
Good stuff, Francis. I think that's it for today. But listen, thanks so much on behalf of Francis Letourneau, President and CEO of NuRAN Wireless Inc. I'm Frank Candido. I handle investor relations and corporate communications. And by the way, we've both been there since the beginning. So, so that's quite a long time. Anyway, thank you very much. And we look forward to, our next video. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.